Good morning, everybody. It's Dwayne with Off Grit, and I'm here today with my friend Henry. Henry, how's it going? Anyways, Henry is a product, as you know, and this is a elastomeric roof coating. I wanted to talk about this for a few minutes because I overlooked this stuff when I first came out here and been building off-grid. In case you don't know, my name's Dwayne and I'm building an off-grid homestead here in southern Arizona. Now, we have been putting roofs on our structures, and I really like metal roofs. Metal roofs last a long time if they're installed properly, and they're just very durable. However, they have one main drawback. Actually, a couple main drawbacks. One drawback is the aesthetics. If you're looking for a certain aesthetic on your roof, you might end up going with tile out here instead. It does look nicer, I think, than of course a metal roof. So there's that, the aesthetics of it. Second, and this one's a biggie, is metal conducts heat really well. And as you know, if you've been in the desert, if you have anything metal out here, whether it's painted or bare metal, and you touch it, it is super hot, especially here in the desert. So when you put a metal roof on a structure such as this earth bag or a shed or whatever, it's going to do the job of keeping things protected. However, if you want to keep the temperatures down quite a bit, you need to cover that roof with something. Now, they sell panels that are painted with some type of enamel, and it's still going to be better than just having bare exposed metal. It's going to cool it down a little bit. But if you really want to cool it down and keep the temperature near ambient, meaning like if you touch it, it's the same temperature as your hand, this stuff right here works. Now, I don't get nothing from these guys, of course. I'm just a small YouTuber, but I will tell you, this stuff works great. You put this on a metal roof and you'll put your hand up on it during the hottest time of the day, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon out here, or 3 in the afternoon, when the sun's really beating down on it. And I put my hand on the roof and it's about the same temperature as my hand. That's how good this stuff works. Now, I will say that, applying this stuff can be a bit tricky. What I did was I took the exposed metal panels that I bought at like Home Depot, the corrugated metal panels, and what I would do is just put it in a shed, set it on a table, and I tried it with a roller, and then I did it with a paintbrush, and then I used a combination of the two, and they also have brushes, is what you're looking at over here. So this is just a broom handle, and they sell roofing brushes over in the roofing section at the big box stores, Lowe's or Home Depot. And what you do with that is, so here's how I do it. So I'll put this coating on the metal before I put it up on the roof. You don't have to do it that way. I only did it that way because this earth bag is a really weird shape, and it's tricky. It was tricky putting the roof on here because I had to do a lot of cutting on these panels. But so I put it on before I actually put the roof on, and that's like my first coating. And then once the panels are on, I will actually go back over and do another coat, because you use these roofing screws for these metal panels that have these neoprene seals on them. So the screws go in and it's like this washer, and it basically stops water from going in there. And then what I do is I put this coating over top of that to give it an extra coating to make sure that no water can get in. So there's other ways you can do this. Like, you can actually do it with a spray gun. The more industrial commercial places will have sprayers that do this. However, if you're going to use a sprayer, you're going to probably need something pretty industrial, and you're gonna have to play around with this. And I didn't want to water down this formula at all, because I think that'll take away a lot from it, to water it down to get it to go pass through some of these cheaper spray guns. So I actually decided it was just better for me to brush it, and plus by the time I had to clean all the nozzles and put everything together, take it apart, etc., so I just would go out in the shed in the evening every day for about a week or so, and eventually I would get it on the first coat. So I'm about to put some of this on the roof right now, so I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing here and then show you the roof. Okay, so another tip for you is if you want to keep your brushes and your rollers and all that fresh for a long period of time, like say you're going to start and stop a lot, you know, and you don't want to have to get a new brush, a new roller, or whatever, all I do is I have a separate bucket, and what I would do is I'd put a little water in the bottom of it and put my brushes in here and detach like the brush from here, and I would just put it in this bucket and just close the bucket up and keep it in there, because the water would keep it moist enough in there that it wouldn't dry out. As you can see, it's getting kind of nasty in there, and this is the end of the job, but I've had these in here since I started this roof about a month ago, so I've been using the same brush and the same roller the whole time. Saves you some money, you know, because as you know, that stuff really adds up out here when you have to, you know, keep going through those expendables. So what I do here is, you can see I have a bucket that has, you know, just a little bit at the bottom. You know, one of the things with this stuff is you don't want it drying out too much, so I try to just have extra buckets around for that reason. As you can see, these are just used buckets from the prior bucket I used. And then what I'll do is I'll open up this bucket here and then just stir it up a little bit and then pour it in the bucket and take it up with me on the roof. Now, you don't have to do it this way, but I'm just saying if you want to keep the stuff longer so it doesn't go bad. And they have really good seals on these buckets, as you can see here. So it's kind of a pain in the butt doing this one-handed here. Alright, so I got it finally. So you can see it right there, and you can see these buckets, they have these rubber seals on them here, which are really nice. So so yeah, I'll just take this stuff, stir it a bit, dump it in here, and then we're going to go back up on the roof. Alright folks, so I'm going to finish putting this coating on right here, and I just wanted to show you the top of this roof to show you what I was talking about. As far as covering these screws up, these are the screws I'm talking about. There's literally hundreds of these things all over to keep this roof intact, and what I do here is I'll do my last coat over this section right here to cover up those screws and just do another final coat. But there it is, folks. You know, we spent a lot of time making this earth bag structure really pretty, and I'm going to try to 3 points of contact on a ladder. So anyways, we spent a lot of time making this earth bag really nice, and want to take advantage as much as possible to the fact that we put it about 3 foot in the ground inside to keep it cooler and take advantage of the thermal mass. This thing stays between 82 to 86 degrees in here all day long, no matter how hot it is outside. So out here in the desert, that's pretty good, because we get over 100 degrees out here at this time of year, and we don't have to use that much air conditioning in there when we're inside there. So you know, we really don't have to use any at all, but it's really nice to have. So, and this elastomeric roof coating really, I think, adds to that and makes a difference, because if I did not put this stuff on there and just put a normal paint, it would be much hotter inside this structure for sure. So that's my testimonial. If you're like me, you've probably been jaded over the years with all the products, with their claims and telling you this, that, and the other, and how, you know, this is going to do this, and you get really sick of buying products and wasting your good money and finding out it doesn't do what it says it's going to do. But I can tell you, just person to person here, or video to person, that this stuff really does what it says it does. So, you know, it's about 90, I think it's like 95 for 5 gallons, or 4.75 gallons now. It was in the 80s and even the 70s, of course, as you know, inflation and all that garbage. But you know, you figure, if you know, it says on the side here it'll cover approximately I think over 400. I can go look for you and tell you, but it is, yeah, this stuff here says 475 square foot per pail per coat. So that'll give you an idea if you want to do the math on it. Plus you got to buy your brushes and rollers and all that stuff. But I'm Dwayne with Off Grit, and I'll talk to you soon.